Water that literally bubbles from the earth is heated by hot subterranean gases. The spring represents an ideal habitat for cold-blooded reptiles. Even though the water is crystal clear, no one has ever explored this spring underwater. Saltwater crocodiles could easily hide amongst the pandanus-lined banks, or even within the algae and reeds. Luckily, all I am finding is freshwater crocodiles, and this species seldom attack people. Aboriginals once hunted the clear springs for marine snakes. I just caught the most amazing creature. Look at this. It's a file snake. It's the most interesting animal. It's crawling around my arm. Now these snakes are non-venomous, and they're a marine snake that live in these freshwater springs and billabongs, and the skin is really loose. It's floppy skin, but it feels very, very much like a file, almost like sandpaper. The reason I'm holding him near the head there at the back of the neck is because they do have powerful jaws. And what they do is they grab onto their prey, slippery fish especially, throw a coil around the fish with this very, very raspy skin that grips the fish, and then they swallow it down. These are very interesting animals, and as it's coiling around my skin, it's incredibly rough, and you find them underneath these reed beds in these little billabongs. Look at him, isn't he strange? Absolutely interesting, wonderful creature. We'll take you back under with us, mate. We'll go for a swim together. Let's go. The Pungalina Springs constantly flow into the creeks and billabongs. Sometimes fishing activities in these adjoining waterways causes serious problems for freshwater crocodiles. Don't you whip me with that tail. Up you come on. Now I don't suggest anyone play with these crocodiles. And we don't normally catch them at all, but this one has got a lure stuck in the side of its mouth. Owen, can you bring your pliers over? And what happens is people go fishing for barramundi and they use these barbed hooks and they get caught just very carefully. Sometimes, thank you. Does that feel better, mate? Sometimes the crocodiles take the lure, and because they're barbed and they're stainless steel, they can cause shocking infections and eventually kill the animal. And I hate that. They should be using non-stainless steel, and they should be barbless hooks, because if you keep the pressure on the line when you're pulling in a fish, then you'll still catch the fish. But if it gets away, then it won't die with a hook in its mouth, and of course these poor things won't be a bycatch. This is a beautiful freshwater specimen, Johnson crocodile, and even at this size, he's still quite dangerous. There's a lot of teeth in that mouth, and they can really whip that tail around. So they're not, certainly not a harmless animal, the freshwater crocodile. And now we've taken that terrible hook out of his mouth. Look at those beautiful teeth. We'll let him go again.